people ask us questions too, like, what can you do when you get there? Where will you go? We couldn't answer them either, we hadn't a clue. 40 shillings is all we have turning. How far that'll go, or what will become of us, God only knows. But the captain said, if I tell you our story, we get extra rations this week. So has anyone any questions for me?
Would they let you have open fires down here?
No.
So how? I thought that you could cook away down here, no? Or you'd have to bring it, go upstairs and do it there.
You're allowed up for half an hour in groups of 20, if the weather permitted.
To do the cooking then in that time, no?
Were the fires in a container or something, yeah?
They're the crate things that are up, like a grate.
Oh, yeah.
A basket grate thing that's up on the deck, there's one of them up there.
Too many people wouldn't be able to cook at one time then. But
you're only allowed up in groups of 20 anyway.
But the 20 people wouldn't be cooking all at once, no?
Well, they put a pan as big as his fist and you have to line up then and you put so much stuff on it then and pass it around like so.
That's right.
The other lady was saying that very few people died on the Dunbrody.
Well, we're halfway through now and no one has died yet. So we're very lucky so far.
And what would be the difference between the Dunbrody? I mean, why would there be a lower fatality rate now between here and say similar ships? And is it like better?
The captain was meant to be very good.
Good, right. Right.
So there'd been a doctor on board.
The captain was the one that knew anything about the potions and all. Right. So he was very good. If anyone had a fever and he had doubt he had any potions that were dished out, he done it. He was the only one that knew anything about kind of potions and medicines.
Would you have to go through a medical or anything to get on board?
No.
No, nothing like that.
But you would when you get out to Ellis Island,
I know,
then, wouldn't you? They'd send you back.
Yeah.
How many passengers would be on this now, in total?
There's about 300 including the crew, and there's 12 crew members, and there's 4 or 6 first class on this voyage, and the rest then are us in steerage.
Oh my God, you're getting 300 people in this.
Well, down there as well.
And then back down here as well, is it?
Yeah.
And each one, like where you were in there, how many would be in there?
7 of us.
You couldn't have this in there.
You'd have to.
Not that big, like.
Well, it seemed to be mostly children.
But there was other families that there was so many children, like there'd be 12 or 14 of them. They had to take turns sleeping, like.
It would be mostly just 2 parents and the children.
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be kind of bad.
Passenger now, we have a cabin passenger. Her name's Mrs. O'Brien. Hey, ma'am.
No. This is the first day I've been out of the bed in a week. All the family have had seasickness. None of the pills and potions we brought with us have acted anyway. A waste of money, I can tell you. The weather's been dreadful. The waves were so big that on more than one occasion we feared for our lives. Had I known it was going to be this bad, I would have had second thoughts about selling our store and leaving New Ross, I can tell you. We had no choice really though. Business had been very bad for the past 2 years, what with the blight and all. Yes, one of the best businesses in New Ross we had. My father had built it from nothing. We just couldn't stand by and watch all our hard work go to waste. Give people credit. John said, these bad times will pass. John said, that was nearly 2 years ago, and I couldn't begin to tell you how much money we're owed by friends, neighbours, and complete strangers. 3 months ago I got this letter from my brother in New York. He's been out there now 3 years and has a thriving general store. Listen to this. Mary and John, that's me and me husband. You would not believe how much money there's to be made over here. I've the shop open 6 days now and I rarely close before 10 each evening. 'Tis hard work, but the rewards are good. You know Dad's old motto, if you work hard you can look forward to a bright future. It certainly applies out here. I've 5 people working for me now. One of them's actually from County Wexford. I'm thinking of opening a store further west. in a place called Buffalo. So if you ever get tired of New Ross and want to challenge, you can both make a fresh start over there. I need someone I can trust to run the store. Well, I can tell you all, when I got this letter, my husband and I did some serious talking. Within a month we sold everything and bought passage for the four of us to New York. It's a great relief to have someone out there to go to. My brother says he's plenty of rooms above the store so we can stay there as long as we like. We got a fair price for our store, so money isn't a problem for now. The children are totally excited about the whole thing, and I must say, I'll be pleased to be working with my brother. Be nice to have paying customers again. Have you been around the ship? I must say I'm not at all pleased with the conditions we have aboard. 25 cabin for ourselves and our 2 children. It's very cramped and I barely have enough room for my luggage. I came down here in steerage to see if we'd be better off paying £5 for this. After seeing the conditions down here, I'm delighted I insisted on a cabin. How these people live down here I do not know. After the last storm we were up on deck getting some fresh air. The hatches were opened to let these people begin a clean-up operation of their quarters. Oh, well, I was appalled at how sickly and thin they were. The look of some of them actually frightened my children. I said it to the captain, and I suggested in future that they be only brought up at night, not to alarm the other passengers at that. I will never forget the appalling order that came from down here. These poor, unfortunate people must be escaping some great hardship to be putting up with these conditions. Whilst I was speaking to the captain, I also mentioned my concerns about hygiene, the possible spread of disease. You can't be too careful these days, you know. Yesterday I saw a very ill at sea. I felt so sorry for that poor woman and her 5 children as she watched the body of her husband being consigned to the ocean. What he died of I cannot say, but I'm sure he won't be the last. What's to become of that poor woman, heaven knows. I hear 40 shillings are all she has in the world. The sooner I'm at my brother's in New York, the better. If you've any questions you'd like to ask me, please feel free, as I do have the ear of the captain and know much of the goings-on of the ship. Any questions for Mrs. O'Brien? Come now, I'm a busy woman, things to do.
What did you get at the shop?
Oh, I couldn't possibly answer that one, sir. I couldn't order me bed. There's no food be listening. Especially that one over there. I don't like to look over it.
What kind of store did you have?
A general store.
Yeah.
North Street, New Ross. You look very familiar to me, ma'am. Do you owe me money?
No, I don't think I shopped in your shop recently.
I think she owes me
I think she owes you money.
See you later.
Right,
See you later.
What's your name, dear?
Griffin.
Griffin.
Nellie Griffin.
I'll be looking up Nellie.
What's up?
I'll give you 3 shillings worth, I can assure you.
You can claim it at the captain.
He knows in New York, so he could...
Oh, you're familiar now with New York.
Oh, I am, yeah. I'll have to come and visit you at that end.
Shop.
Oh, I will, yeah.
Bond Street, sir.
Will we get credit? Will we get some credit from you?
Well, I don't know. Let me have a look at you.
Yeah.
I'll say, are you related to this lady?
Oh, I am. Oh, the woman who owes you the money.
No.